I'm going to show you 5 steps that are the foundation of my training program. These 5 steps are really important to have on your horse because of softness, because of collection. And why do we have softness and collection? Because softness means we have a willing horse, we have a horse that accepts the leg aids, we have a horse that accepts the pressure from the bit and be able to stay soft and collect up its body. And the collection of the horse, it's there so they can perform the maneuvers to their best of their ability. Just like a gymnast. A gymnast has to flex and be able to collect up their bodies in order to do their hard maneuvers. The same with horses. You softer and more flexible horse we have, the more athletic horse we have, in my opinion. So the step number 1 is the very basic step. We use that when we start the 2-year-olds very early in the year. As far as time frame on these 5 steps, when I have my older horses been ridden from about 9 months to a year, then I expect that all these 5 steps should be on your horse. If they're not, you need to put a lot more time and effort into getting these steps put on your horse and get them broke, because they're going to help you so much in training. Step number 1, as I call it, is just walk in a circle and riding with 2 hands. We're going to collect the horse to the inside. Just simply bend the nose around. This established the very first steps of controlling your horse. If the horse will yield to the bit and flex its nose over here, that means you have control over the horse. The horse won't do anything. If the horse does something out of the ordinary, you can always stop it. As far as softness and collection goes, then you get a flexible horse that are soft and athletic, giving its nose over there. So that's a really, and this is the very first step of the horse understanding collection. See, when I pull on this rein, the horse gives to the bit, and immediately I reward that horse back. So he has a positive attitude as being handled and accepting the bit. Step number 2, then I'm stepping it up a little bit. Then I'm collecting my horse with both my hands to the point of its shoulder. And see, he's really soft there, so I don't have to pick up very hard on him at all. And very important is the way we ride with our legs here. We're not going to create any softness in the horse if we don't really drive good with our legs. Because of the whole idea with collection and softness is for a horse to flex its body, round its back up, lift the shoulders up, and start driving from behind. And in order to do that, we have to drive good with our legs. Keep just bumping him forward here, driving him every stride. And when it's time to collect, I'll pick up, drive him forward. If he doesn't go forward, I'll keep driving till I get a good response. Then I turn him loose to reward him again. But when I do turn him loose, I just keep driving with my legs the whole time, because that is my gas pedal going forward. The second I quit driving with my legs, I want my horse to stop. And that's how much in tune I want him to be with me. For example, if I quit driving here, he's just going to come to a halt. And when it's time to go again, I'll drive and maybe cluck to him a little bit. So then he's been really soft in step number 1 and step number 2. And step number 3 of these foundation steps is I take him off in a counter arc. I still have him bent to the right, but I push him around in a circle to the left. And this time is the horse technically has the head to the outside of this circle. The only time I will allow a horse to have the head to the outside in the circle is this little walk exercise. I will never do it at a lope or anything like that, because I want that horse to be locked into the circle and have a good frame. Same here, I'll pick up to soften. When the horse is really soft, I'll release him again. I'll keep driving and pick up a new mouth, drive, soften, and then I'll just return to my right circle here. If he's been really good and everything like that, there's not much sense of doing it. But almost every ride I put on an older horse, say 3 years old or older, I'll go through these 5 steps every riding session. Even if they are soft and they're good, I always want to double check my system so I don't let my horse get stiff in any area, and we can just perform every maneuver to the top of their ability. On the same token, when I have all the softness on them, then I can correct them and I can teach them real easy and very stress-free. We always want to stay real light with the young horses, and if they're soft and very willing like this, then you won't have any trouble putting their body in the position we need in order to teach them the difficult maneuvers they have to learn. Step number 4 in these steps is the backup. I think the backup is, for me, the most important tool I have in my training. We use the backup after this to teach the stop. We use the backup to help them draw back in the turn where they can turn on a loose rein. If the horse is pulling us faster than we want to do, we'll most likely draw him to a halt and back him up again. And if we don't have a very soft and willing backup at the time, it's going to be hard for us to get the willingness and the discipline we want on our horse. So after I've gone through the first 3 steps, I have the required softness that I need in order to do this next maneuver. What I simply do is just walk forward in a straight line. I ride him with 2 hands, and with both hands I just draw the slack out of the reins, and he should start backing off my hand. And when he does, I'll just release, and I'll pull up again and release. And there you saw him being really willing. He was really acceptant. When I drew up on him, and he just started backing up immediately and stayed soft. And see, he is so in tune with me right now that he almost beat me to it. So again, you can do this every day just to double check that you have all the softness you need. If I bring the horse up to lope and he won't stop, if I can do that, I can very easily correct him and tell him which is the correct way to do the job, and we have a very easy time training him. I'll do it again. Just walk forward, draw up on him, and if he was going to get a little stiff here, which he's not, then I just would pull a little harder and maybe go after him with my leg a little bit for him to move off my hand. But once he does, I'll release him immediately. The release is the key to your softness. You can pull on him all you want. You can pull on your horse hard, and the horse, if it's trained right, will accept it, will take it, and will keep working with a good attitude if our release is great. Like I say, here I can pull on him quite hard, but as soon as he reacts good, I release him. I give him a reward, so he understands his job. If I would pull on him hard the whole time without giving him the release, I wouldn't get the response from him that he steps back real fast. So we got that on him. And step number 5 is start using some more body control on him. And then I'm talking about the hip. In step number 5, I should be able to walk my horse in a straight line and move his hip both directions. I'll walk right towards the camera here and move his hip over to the right. And like I said, here again, I collect up with my hand, I drive with my legs, and he's moving his hip very willingly. The way I use my legs here, I push with my left leg to move the horse's hip to the right, and I keep my right leg bumping so I have some forward motion and that horse understands how to drive forward. Again, very important that we use our legs as our tool to drive forward. Push with my left leg, balance and collect with my hand. When it's good, I release. Pick up. When it's good, I release. And I'll just double check that so I have that type of softness in both directions. Here I'm moving his hip over to the left off of my right leg, driving with my left leg, picking up with my hand, releasing with my hand, and when it's good, I'll let him go for a release. Doing it again. Moving his hip, real nice, real easy. I release him and reward him. If you always double check and you have these 5 steps solid in your horse, he'll be much easier, much willing, and much easier to put through the paces in your training program.